Good morning. It's Saturday morning and we're in the kitchen and we're going to have a good time in the kitchen. It's been one of those mornings where I've already cooked breakfast for five and which was a lot of fun. I had my grands here today, last night and today, and it was just a great time. We had so much fun together. And then I was hoping that we're going to get to stay long enough that we could actually cook together in the kitchen. But here today, but that didn't work out that way. So you've got a little different view today. This is probably more the view that you would see when you're just on a normal, everyday cooking video. And the reason for that is because we're going to be working here at the stove. So I'm going to be moving you around to different spots. Now, I know we've got Super Bowl coming up tomorrow. We have bad weather. I'm kind of adjusting you just a little bit. We've got bad weather coming in tonight, and you can't believe it, but it is 60 something outside. And to think that the temperature is supposed to drop over 30 degrees between now and midnight, and then overnight and during the day tomorrow it's supposed to snow. So what wild weather. I mean, it's just been really crazy. We have had true spring for the past few days. So I enjoyed it, but now we got to get back to winter. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be fixing a garden chili for those who like more vegetable-based types of chili. That's what we're going to be fixing today. And we're going to also, but it's nice. I better go back to that. It's nice to have at least one or two meatless meals during the week when you can. And, and I think when you're having sports and those kind of things, to have a meatless option is always nice because you never know who is in the mix who may desire a more meatless type of situation. So we've got a meatless garden chili. And you're not going to know it's meatless because we're going to add something to it that's going to give it the flavor and the texture that we need for a meatless dish. Now, we're also going to put together a skillet chicken with a delicious tahini lemon sauce. Hey, Deb, good morning. And she said it's sunny. Oh, and 7 degrees in Wisconsin today. Well, at least you got sun. That's a good thing. Warmed it up to 7 degrees. Oh my goodness. How fun. That's fun. But 7 degrees is just a little too chilly. I haven't seen 7 degrees in a while. In fact, probably since we left Kentucky. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Ronnie. It's always good to have you guys in the kitchen. And I don't know if you heard, but I was just telling everybody that the grandkids were here. Hi, Patricia. And they were here. They left like 2 minutes. Hey, Cedric, 2 minutes before the show started. They were trying to kind of smoothly get out of the way. They have swimming today. And they swim every day because they're a part of a competitions team. So because of that, on Saturdays, they have their swim meets. And today's the big championship. So I had to make sure everybody got to bed on time. Everybody had a good breakfast and early. So I had been rolling this morning trying to make sure that I had done my part in doing the grandmother thing. Good morning, Kim. And so I am just glad that you all are here with me. And like I said, this is going to be a little bit of it because we're going to be over here, we're going to be over here, we're going to be all over the place. And I'm not quite as organized as I would normally be because I had a lot of little folks running around. I had 3 that were running around. And so as I would put things down, they would move it. And so it was, what do? You got dolls, you got Barbies, you got phones, you got tablets, you got all those good things. But you know, that's a part of having the grandkids in the house and a part of the fun. So if you see me shoot off for a minute, because you know I probably forgot something that I should have already had. And you know what's so funny is that I keep a list, but today I did not even get to look at the list until I hit the button to say we're going live. And so I didn't want to forget anything. So like I said, we're getting ready for Super Bowl, and you know how I am about football. It's nice, you know, it's okay. But the reality of it is all I want to do is to be with the family and enjoy the camaraderie and the hoopla. That's the fun part. I could care less about who wins, because none of my teams are playing. So let's get started. We got a lot to do, a lot to get going. And like I said, the chicken is probably what's going to take the longest, even though the garden chili is going to need to simmer, but at least we'll have it in the pot. It will just about be finished, other than just having a little bit of simmering time, because you know chili is always better if you can serve it the next day. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually serve it tomorrow, because of the fact that tomorrow's the football day. So we're also going to put together some roasted red pepper hummus. See, I went that quick, forgot that quick. So let's get over here, and I'm going to kind of redirect you over here. As you can see, I got quite a conglomeration of all kinds of things that are going to be going on, because we're going to be putting the chili together as well as getting ready for the chicken. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to organize as best as possible this morning. I tell you what, I am totally not on my game as far as having it thought out as to what should be first and second and third. And so we're going to, I think what I'm going to do is to start putting things into the blender for the hummus. Let's do the hummus first, because that is quick and doesn't require a lot of work. So we're going to do that. Now I want you to see my science experiment while we're over here, and I do have to feed it while we're here. I am making a sourdough, and it's got bubbles. It's been going now all week, and it has bubbles. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I'm going to feed it while you're here. So let me get a spoon. We've got the flour right here. I'm gonna put a good heaping teaspoon of flour in, because it's hungry this morning. And I also need to get a little bit of water. So I'm gonna add a little tiny bit of water. See what I got close. Okay, I'm gonna add in some fresh water. Let's get that. All right, got our fresh water going. And I didn't want to, I won't need all of this. I just need a little bit, just enough to make it kind of a pancakey type of consistency. And actually today, I have to feed it twice, because that's how active it is. And I've got some bread started in the refrigerator, and we'll be taking that out later on and getting that ready. So we've got our starter here, and what I'm hoping is that we're going to be able to keep this starter going for a very, very, very long time. And that's the plan. All right, that was perfect as far as amount of water needed. So I'm good with that. I'm going to sit that over there. I'm just going to sit the top on it just like that. I'm not even going to lock it down. And I'm going to put it over here because we're busy over here. It's warm in here today. I even have the window open today. That's how warm it is. So I'm going to pull out the Ninja so that we can whip up this hummus pretty quickly. I've got my olive oil, and we're going to be talking about our olive oil because olive oil has become my go-to thing. And, you know, the thing about this Ninja is that the top is a bear. Trying to get that top off. That's the hardest part of the blender, is getting the top off. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in, this is actually 3 cans, rinse cans. Let's see if you can see. I need to pull you down just a little bit. Oh, okay, you're good. And I'm going to put in 3 cans of garbanzo beans. They've been rinsed. Let's see if I can get them in there without making a total mess. When we deal with beans, they're going to run. That's pretty good. I only dropped 1. I'm not sure where he went, but that's okay. Now, in here, we're going to add in a good squish of tahini. We're going to be using tahini quite a bit today. So, put in that tahini. See if we can get this started and give it another shake. Okay. Now, give it one more little bit of tahini. Just a little. Okay, there we go. He needed a little help. All right, now he's good to go. I'm gonna rinse that top off because I did spill it just a little bit because we're gonna need that tahini a little later. Okay, so I've got you over here. You're gonna hear all kinds of sounds because you're right over here by the sink. How's everyone today? I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday morning. Now, we need a little garlic. And this morning, I'm looking at an almost empty bottle of garlic. So I'm just going to add the rest of that garlic in. It was less than a teaspoon of garlic in there. And I purposely left it because I knew we were going to need it today. So I'm going to take my spatula and try to fish out all of that. Because you want your tahini, you know, the garbanzos really don't, as far as I'm concerned, they don't have a lot of flavor, but they do have good consistency. So we're going to add a little minced garlic. And like I said, we're going to be adding some roasted red bell peppers. And these roasted red bell peppers, let's see, I had a get my spoon. These are actually just in water. So I'm going to take some out and put those in. Just put a few more in. And then we'll save a few to be able to kind of decorate it on top once we get ready to fix it up for tomorrow for the game. Now, I'm going to add in a little bit of house seasoning. Like I said, it doesn't have a lot of seasoning. And I like mine to have a good flavor. It doesn't have to be totally plain. So I'm just going to add in a little bit, about a half teaspoon of house seasoning. Just enough so that we take that a little too fresh taste off. Oh, Ronnie, these chickpeas were actually canned. So because of that, I just took them out of the can, rinsed them really, really good. And so we're using them. You know, it's nice to cook them from scratch. I didn't have time for that this weekend because there was just too much going on. But we're going to get this back in place. All right. And see if I can figure. This is the big guy's toy that I'm playing with today. All right, we got it on manual. Let's see if I can get him to go. All right. Now, you know, tahini is really all about the texture. And we want a nice texture, so I'm going to start adding in a little olive oil because tahini really is very, very healthy. So let's see if I can do that. I put some in. Okay, I'm gonna add just a little more. Like I said, these ninjas are really nice, but man, they can be a bear getting in and out of the different pieces. Okay. Now, I'm going to get my spatula, pop him up for just a minute, and kind of clean down the sides. It's getting there. I like it. Now, I don't know about you. I like my tahini with corn chips. Some people like it with pita. I like pita. And sometimes I'll even make sandwiches with it and just add the veggies. So let's get it going. Put this on. See if we can get it to go a little. Okay, let's take a look at it and see how we're doing. If we need, I don't think we're going to need any more olive oil because it's pretty smooth. I'm going to taste a little bit. You know what it needs? It needs just a little more house seasoning. And actually, I think it needs just a little salt. I really did not put a lot of salt in the house seasoning. So I'm going to add in about a ½ teaspoon of salt. If these beans are pretty fresh, maybe just a tad bit more. Okay, now I'm going to do that. And I really am going to add just a smidget more of olive oil. So I'm pulling out the big guy today, pulling out the big, robust olive oil. This way I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to add in about a 1/4 cup more. We put in about a ½ cup. I'm going to add in about a 1/4 cup more. I think it just depends on the beans, really, to be honest with you, as to how. Okay. Put this down. Chop, spread. There we go. Oh, okay. Now, in my house seasoning, you know, I have onion powder, a little garlic powder. Ronnie's saying that she said when she's made it and she actually sits and peels each little chickpea. Wow, you are too good. I don't have that much time, but you know, if that's what you like, then that's what we go with. You know, that additional olive oil did it. It smells good. You can smell those roasted red peppers. So this is ready. I'm going to try to take these little blades out because these blades and I do not get along in this Ninja. I have a tendency that just about every time I use it, I usually end up with a bandage. And that's because I'll hit one of those blades and I'm determined I'm not going to let that happen today. Or at least not let you see me do it, because sometimes it happens. Okay, guys, that's out. And this looks really nice and really smooth. Now, we need a nice bowl for this. Let's see what I can find that's large enough to hold all of this. I'm not sure how much this is going to be. I think that's too small. We need a larger bowl. I think that's going to work. All right. Let's see if I can get this off. There we go. And get him into the bowl. So, football. There's going to be tahini. And we're going to dress it up so that it looks pretty. I love the color with that roasted red pepper. It gives it such a pretty, really springy color. It just looks like a breath of spring. And I like tahini. I like hummus. The big guy likes it. He likes his spicy with jalapenos. So I have jalapenos separate because while I like jalapenos, I don't want it in every bite. So, and besides, since we're going to have chili, I'm not going to put jalapenos in the chili. I'm going to serve that on the side. Okay, we got it all out. We want to get all of that goodness out of there. Okay. Tahini and the chickpeas and the hummus and the red pepper. Voila, that's done. Put that over in the sink. Now let's see if we can get this spread out so it looks nice. As you know, that's important, especially since we know I need to take a picture at the end and post it. We got quite a bit. That's good. I wasn't quite sure. I'm used to doing it in mega batches when we're really doing it for the entire family. We need big batches. And so let me get my spoon here. We're going to take a few of these red peppers so that everybody knows that's what we've done. We need some little red peppers on top. And you know that these red peppers are nice and sweet. So I'm taking these out and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm just kind of putting them on there just to give it a little color on top and to identify what is in it. So anyone who is anti-red peppers, they can, they'll have to move on. Sometimes you can get them all pretty much the same size and sometimes not so much. So we're working here. We're trying to get it going. Okay, there's one. Okay, here's two. Got little ones, little pieces. Switch him, three. Put him there. I'm going to clean it up. Let me get a paper towel and clean this up. All right. This morning, it was funny. When the kids come, we go through a ton of paper towels. And this morning, that was the first thing we had to go get was some additional paper towels for the kitchen. Because yesterday, we had a fiasco. I'm going to tell the truth. We had a fiasco in the kitchen. We were trying a new recipe. Well, let me tell you, girls, when it comes to making a cake, don't do a no recipe. Use a recipe, number one, that you know will work. And and always make sure you mark the containers correctly. because when I went to the store, okay, voila, he's all ready. And that's our roasted red pepper hummus done. So let's get over here to the stove because we still have a lot of cooking yet left to do. And I'm getting you over to where you can see where my hand is. Okay, we're going to be right here. Chicken's going to be going here. Chili's going to be going here. So I can see that I need to kind of get you in another spot so you can see both. There we go. Now, whew, this is good. I'm having fun and enjoying having someone to talk to in the kitchen. This is so much fun. Now, actually, today we're doing an easy meal and 2 meals, and they're actually both like one pot meals. And you know, those are always fun because you can just put things in and keep it going. So that's what we're going to do. Let me rinse my hand. This thing's over there. Now I don't know about you. I'm going to show you what I have that I keep. This is a bottle of water and Dawn dishwashing liquid that I keep all the time, so that when I need to do a quick spritz and clean up, I have it right here handy. I'm trying to think of what was in this bottle. Some kind of cleaner used to be in this bottle ages ago, like a year ago. Once it was over, I took the bottle, cleaned it up, took the wrapped labels off, and this has been my Dawn dishwashing liquid bottle. So it gives me a chance to just kind of spritz things, get it good and clean, and grab that paper towel, and we're ready to go. Ready to get it going. Now, it's not going to take us long to put the chili together at all. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drizzle olive oil in both pans. And let's see if I can bring you, there we go. I want you to see. Give you a better, whoops, wrong way. There we go. All right. Now we've got, in both skillets, we need some olive oil. So let me turn the fire on. And this one, this eye I really have to watch because it's one of those that it has what they call ultra heat. So it will heat up very, very, very quickly. So I'm going to put both on. I'm going to put in about 1/4 of a cup, which is about 3 tablespoons, enough to coat the bottom of each of these containers. Just enough. And actually, this one I don't need quite that much at this point. We may have to go back and add a little more to it, but I'm going to just drizzle a little bit. This is actually the skillet that I was cooking with this morning, and I had I did bacon, eggs, biscuits, all those good things this morning for the kiddos before they left. Now, we're going to start with the chili. So you know, chili needs onion. So I'm going to put our onion in, and I'm going to make sure it's pretty hot because I want that to be ready pretty quickly. I got that going. I've got this is a spurtle, and the spurtle, I'm just going to let it start mixing that up. I do need a touch of salt. As you know, onions do not come seasoned, and that's probably all the real salt that I'll need to put in, because by the time you put in the beans, the chili beans, the tomatoes, which are sometimes a little salty. I'm going to do 2 different kinds of tomatoes. I'm going to do just regular tomatoes, regular diced tomatoes, but I'm also going to put in some with rotel. And I really like those, but I didn't have enough cans of rotel. to cover the entire dish. So you can see how quickly this comes up. I mean, it does not play around. So I do have to keep my eye on this one, this particular eye, because it will cook very, very fast. All right, we got that. I need to put the top on this red pepper. All right. Now I'm going to start to add in. These are our diced. I don't know if it's, oh, these are whole. I thought these were diced tomatoes. Okay, I've had these in the, you know what I'm going to do? There we go. Just going to take my spurtle and chop these up. We like tomatoes, so that's okay. And these are really nice tomatoes. These are Kroger's private selection. I don't know if you have a Kroger near you, but Kroger has their private selection brands that are really nice. You know, sometimes when you get into store-bought brands that they're not necessarily as nice as you would like for them to be, but Kroger's brand is pretty good. All right, so I got that going. I'll turn that down just a smidge, and I'm going to add in those tomatoes that had the rotel. So I'm putting those in as well. Okay, and give all of that a good stir. Now the ones with the rotel have onion and a little bit of celery. Let's see, maybe a little garlic. Now these are just diced tomatoes and green chilies. But you know what? It's not enough green chilies. So I'm going to add a can of chopped green chilies in. Okay, so they're going. So I had the rotel, I had the tomatoes, the 48-ounce can, as well as what is that smaller one? The smaller one is a 12-ounce. Yep, 10-ounce can of tomatoes. Now remember, this is going to be vegetable based, beans, vegetable. So I'm going to let this come up, let it bubble a little while before I start adding in the beans. Now over here, I need to pull out the chicken, and yes, I know where the chicken is today. So I'm going to get that chicken so we can get the chicken into the pan and get it ready to go. Okay, let's get, we've got our chicken and all the additional chili stuff there. I got some green beans because we're going to be adding green beans. And what I'm going to do first, inside of this bag, before we really get moving along here, I have my chicken. I need to sprinkle it with a little bit of our house seasoning before I put it in the pan. So let me get a smaller spoon. Okay. All right, I'm just going to take this, and I'm using the bag because I'm trying to keep things as clean as possible. And we're going to let this chicken, brown on the skin side. Now I almost always, and I'm taking it through the oil. Let me put the oil down. I'm taking it wide and around the pan. So it's nice and oily to get started. Start it here. Give it a push around the pan. So everybody gets some. So sometimes when you just drop it into the pan, depending upon how much oil you have in, some pieces will get oily and some don't. And I usually move my meat around the pan so that everybody gets whatever meat it is. Because unfortunately, I don't care how good of a stove we have, there are hot spots in the pan. There are cooler spots in the pan. So you just kind of have to let everything roll around the pan. So put this all over there for that one. Make sure he gets in the oil. I put all in, but I didn't need an excessive amount. So we got chicken in. And you know, when you're doing this part, if you decide, if you know for sure that you're going to cook something with chicken later in the week, this is a good time to get it done. Just get that chicken in there, get it cooked, and then you're ready to prepare the dish. And you have a couple of pieces that you can use for something else. So I've got the chicken going, I've got our garden chili going, and it's bubbling well. So I'm going to let that continue to bubble because I want that to be good. All right, I got my cans here, and I'm going to start to add. I had several, you know, we were prepping our pantry earlier and getting ready for winter. We were grabbing whatever we could get because we knew the shelves were going to be looking just a little funny later. So this was actually a great value. That can was a great value. A can of chili beans. And then I have a can of Bush's beans. And yes, I left the juice in it because it does have a nice chili sauce to it. And these are vegetarian. So I have those beans in. And I opened another one just in case. Because later, if I decide I want chili with meat, then all I have to do is cook the meat there and the meat in. So I'm going to go ahead and add that second Bush bean can in. Don't you like the way this pearl just kind of goes right up in that can and brings everything out? Protects your hands so you're away from any sharp spots. Okay, there we go. Now I haven't put any additional seasonings in yet. We still have that to do. I'm also going to add in, and you can decide how much you like, but I'm going to add in a can of corn that I drained. You can use frozen. You can use roasted corn. Sometimes you can find the frozen roasted corn, which really is good, but I couldn't find any the last time I was at the grocery. That part was pretty empty, so I'd say a lot of people are fixing chili because it really is good. So I'm going to let this come up for a few minutes, and then I'm going to start to add some more seasoning in. Let's see, Kim. It's going in and out? Okay. I'm not sure if I am doing that or not. Is it because I'm moving, you think? Good morning, Karen. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I'll try to get you a little closer, and maybe that will help. Sometimes it's the network, you know, certain days it just seems like the network kind of blinks. So let me know. Faru, I see you. Okay, is that better, Kim? Hopefully it's the sound is a little better. All right, now let me check this chicken. Oh yeah, there we go. I think part of it's probably because I'm moving. And because of the fact that
in this case, the chicken needs some seasoning on the other side. So I'm going to take out, you get another, there we go, get another spoon. And I'm going to sprinkle a little seasoning on the other side. It's not quite time to flip it, but when we do, it will already be seasoned. Okay, that's going over there in the sink. Okay, Kim, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm much better now. All right. That's good. Good to know. Now, you know, I'm looking at this pot of chili, and I had pulled some vegetable broth just in case I needed to thin it out a bit. But, you know, the consistency right now is just right. So I'm going to start to put some seasoning in. Let me get a spoon. And I've got all of my chili seasoning sitting here. This is chili powder. So I'm going to add in about three, that's where I'm going to start with, about 3 to 4 teaspoons of chili powder. There's 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to add in about, and you know, cumin is an acquired taste, but if you don't put some cumin in your chili, you're going to think there's something missing. And that's exactly what it is, because cumin is very smoky. It smells so good. So I'm going to take about 1 and 2. I'm just going to do 2 right now, and then I can go back and add more if I need it. And because this is chili, let me give this a good stir, but I'm pretty sure it's going to need a little bit of salt, but I don't want to do that yet. I'm going to hold on to that because I may certainly go in and add that vegetable broth just because. And you know, this chili could be done in a crock pot. I didn't want to do that today because we're cooking together. And if I had put it into the crock pot and just let it sit, well, that would have been fine. So let's see how we're doing. Okay, we need to brown a little more. It's getting there. We have to be patient because we do want the skin to brown. We want it to be pretty. Now that one's not bad, but it still needs a little more time. So I'm giving that just a little more time. Everybody more time to taste a bit. And then we'll flip and get it on the other side. Now what I could do is I'll go ahead and flip because I know you're not going to be able to stay forever. And you can see some of it is like this little one in the middle is he's done well. Now some of these on the side still have a ways to go. Okay, so there they are. Can you see? Okay, you can see that they still got a little bit of cooking to do, but I'm letting them cook on the other side. Now, so let's put our lemon tahini sauce together. So I'm going to get rid of these cans, and I'll be right back. Let me set them off to the side. Okay, we got our kind of cleared away. Got our Dawn dishwashing liquid. We're going to clean up this spot, and we are going to put together our sauce. Now we don't need it at this point, but we will. So there's our chili powder that's taken care of. We've got our house seasoning here. And you see, remember I told you the other day I need to make some more. So I did that, I made more. And got all our oils ready to go. All right, we're ready. Now let me tell you what else I'm going to add into this chili, but I'm not going to do it at this point, because it does need to cook. These are Morningstar. This is Morningstar Farms Veggie Grillers. See if you can see the veggie grillers. And these are the crumbles. And the crumbles are, they give you the texture of having meat in your chili, but you don't. And I love it. You know, they don't alter your flavor. And I use them sometimes in a vegetable soup just to give it a little bit of texture. You know, if I wanted to have the texture of meat. So I'm going to open these so that they're ready. And we'll be ready to put these in. These are kind of bubbling pretty good. Let me see if you can see it. I'm going to take some out so you can see. Those are the crumbles. And we're going to be putting these into the chili. So I'm just going to drop those few in. And in fact, I could probably go ahead and start to add these in. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because we're dealing with beans. We're going to, and I'm going to add most of this packaging, enough that my pot is not going to blow over. All right, so there we go. And I promise you, when you see this, you're going to say, wow, it looks like regular chili, because it will look like regular chili, even though it's all vegetarian, every bit of it. And I really like this. I really do. Now, like I said, if you want some hot sauce, or you want to add some red pepper flakes, you know, you want to kick that heat level up just a little bit, you can certainly do that. I'm not going to do that yet because I want to see how it's going to simmer. The house seasoning has a little bit of pepperoncino. You know, I have a little pepperoncino in everything. And so because of that, the chili may come out just a little bit spicy already. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get you over, bring you over here, and we're gonna work on that tahini sauce. Now I'm gonna get a container that I can shake. So I'm gonna use one of my soup containers. I don't know about you. How many of you have these soup containers? I actually ordered them from Amazon because I thought I'd have enough with the soup that we buy when we go to a Chinese restaurant, but I didn't. And so I needed more. So I'm gonna take my knife, and I'm right here on the cutting board. I'm gonna cut it in half, and I'm gonna try to use up some lemons that the big guy bought, and they are somewhat past their prime. They're really juicy, but the outside of the lemons are rough. Man, they're hard as bricks. So they're about to disappear. Here we go. So I'm going to put some lemon juice in here. Get that lemon juice in. Because, you know, lemon just brightens up everything. There we go. And I always, and I'm sure you all do this too, you probably throw your lemon peels down your disposal so that you can, it cleans up your disposal. And that is just so nice. Built in. All right, so we're down to another half. Boy, these had a lot of seeds. Maybe that's one reason why they were so hard. I don't know. Unless they were caught on a truck and they stayed on that truck a little too long. I'm not sure. But man, the skins are tough. They could have gotten caught in snow. Who knows? All right. So there's the juice of 2 lemons. And I'm thinking I probably need to, yes, have some fresh juice. And then I'm going to have some juice out of the bottle because we're going to need a little more. I'm going to give my tahini a good shake so that it will move like it's supposed to. You know, tahini really does have the consistency of peanut butter to me. Okay, I think it's ready. All right, I'm going to put in about a half cup of tahini. And tahini does a lot of things. It actually works on the flavor as well as the texture of what you're doing. All right, so we've got the tahini, we've got some lemon juice, and we give all that stir. Oh yeah, we're gonna need some more lemon juice. So let's see, work on our chicken. Now bring you back. I know I've got to move you around, hopefully you're not getting dizzy. Oh yeah, now it's nice and hot. There we go. That's what we want. Come up. Oh, this side actually gives that in the first. Okay, I guess we'll continue really hot. As I continue to cook, I'm going to check on the chili here. Make sure it's not sticky. Oh yeah, baby. That chili is nice and thick and it's not ready yet. I have a spoon so I can check it. So I'm going to move you back just a little bit back where you can see both. Okay. We're going to give it a little taste test. The flavor is just right. So that's good. We got to season it right. I'm thinking it needs just a smidget of salt. Just a little bit. So I'm just going to give it a good sprinkle of salt. That's it. Now later, if I find that it really is just a little too thick, I can always add in some vegetable broth. And we'll be ready to go. But this is going to be good. I'm going to have to fix some cornbread, I think, for the big guy, because he likes cornbread with his. And I'm good with crackers for mine. And I like rich crackers. And he's all about that cornbread. Okay, we're going to give this about 10 more minutes on this side. Now, they're not done yet. So I'm going to get some more lemon juice to add into our sauce. I'm also going to pull a little bit of garlic because, you know, you got to have a little bit of garlic in there as well. So let me get that. Okay, I got the lemon juice, got the garlic. I've got some lime. Got some lime sliced up here. Got my lemon juice. I got fresh lemon juice. Gonna put a little more in. Gonna add in a little bit of garlic. That's the spoon I used just a minute ago, so we need a fresh spoon. And I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon of garlic. Okay. Okay, so there we go. also going to add a little bit of chicken broth in here so that I can mix this up, and it's going to make a nice simmering gravy. That's going to be good. That's a chicken broth. And you're just going to put enough. And in this case, because this box has been used, I threw in about a cup and a half of chicken broth. And we're going to give everything a good stir. I'm not going to add any flour, none of that in here. The garlic and the tahini kind of ganged up together. Okay. I'm going to throw in a little house seasoning. Take the end of my spoon. Scoop in 2 little scoops of house seasoning. And there we go. So this is going to be ready to go. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to let this chicken simmer in this sauce. And then about the last 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, we'll add in the vegetables. And topping. Oh yeah, now they're starting to look good. There they go. They're pretty now. Oh yeah. That's better. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to try to keep the chicken toward the center. And I'm going to start adding in our sauce. Still have a little tahini that's stuck down here in the bottom. Let me get a spatula, because I want all of that out, because that's going to make the sauce. There we go. There we go. All of that in. It almost looks like a cream of mushroom soup, but without the mushrooms. Okay. Now I'm going to let this simmer because I want this chicken to cook, and it's going to cook. Remember, we've got olive oil, we've got the seasonings from the chicken. This is going to make a great gravy. And if you want to serve it over rice or with potatoes, oh my goodness, how delicious it would be. Okay, so that part's ready. Now we're going to be fixing this today with green beans because I had hoped to get some asparagus, but the asparagus yesterday just did not look as good as I wanted them to look. And I guess it's still early because, you know, really nice asparagus comes out around Easter or at the end of March. That's when you get your really pretty pieces of asparagus, nice young asparagus. And so we're going to let this come up. I'm going to cut it up just a little bit so it can start to bubble. Let me see what you girls are up to. Need glasses. Hi, Cindy. Let's see, the house seasoning recipe.
Mm. You know, I'll have to put it in the description box. I will link it in the description box. Hi, Melinda. Oh, Melinda, how sweet of you. Great. Well, I hope you do learn something each time. We're always trying to we learn from each other because certainly, it's an opportunity to get in the kitchen. And my daughter was saying that I told you that I never really sat down with her or even requested that she cook dinner. She just didn't have to do that. And what happened was that I thought when she got married that it would be a real struggle. But she actually started cooking while she was in college. She had a little apartment, she and a roommate, and they started sampling with cooking. So it was nothing for her to call up and say, hey, Mom, how do I fix da 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 da? So then over the phone, I would give her the recipe that I used. So, doing it that way, it's always just so much easier and so much more fun because she was always right here in the kitchen. But she, like me, because I did the same thing, I didn't do any cooking when I was young. And my mom was a fabulous cook, but I was a book nut. And I always had my head in a book. So for that reason, I didn't pay any attention to what she was doing other than an occasional look up, if something really smelled good, I'd look up, come over and check it out, see what she had going on, and then go back to reading. So we will, we have a chance to play around with that all the time. And our kids are watching even when we don't know it. And it's not just the kids, it's people, anyone in the kitchen. And I'll tell you this story while we're waiting for this to come up. But I had a friend, I have a friend who she had only been married maybe 3 or 4 years. And she had a little boy at that point. And one day she came over and it was around lunchtime. So I said, you want some lunch? She said, oh, sure. And so she said, well, what are you fixing? I said, I'm just going to throw together some tuna fish. So I started whipping out the tuna fish, pulled out the boiled eggs, got this, the relish together, did all of that. And she's just, how did you do that? Now, can you give me the measurements for the such as for how much pickle relish? How many eggs? How many so-and-so? And then I thought, I don't measure, but then I thought after that, maybe I should unconsciously do a little bit of a mental measurement. And I'm sure all of us do the same thing because we have a tendency when we have our families, we're cooking. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was last week was saying, we were talking about the no recipe. And she was saying, I told her, I said, we were saying that we cook with no recipes often. And it's so funny to have a no recipe cookbook because isn't that how we all cook most of the time? Unless you're like I was yesterday trying to get that cake together. That, by the way, never really did a good job. And that cake just did not want to come together. And I'm going to tell you a horror story. My granddaughter is so funny. My grandson actually was the one, he was at the stove because we had to cook icing for this chocolate icing that we needed, kind of like a ganache. But he had done everything he was supposed to do. I gave him the container that said powdered sugar. And so we just started popping what we thought was powdered sugar into the icing. And I kept wondering why the icing just looked so thick. And I couldn't figure it out. Well, we're waiting for the cake to come out of the oven. I thought, I better taste this icing. It was a good thing I did. It wasn't powdered sugar. It was flour. I don't remember putting flour in my powdered sugar container. But I did, and that's exactly what was in that icing. So we had to throw all the icing out. It had nuts in it. It was ready to go. And all of that had to go into the trash, and we had to start from scratch again. So, sometimes the best laid plans of mice and men doesn't always work out so well. So I'm going to flip these pieces of chicken over because I want it to simmer in this lemon tahini sauce. I want it to cook in there. And the chicken is going to give the tahini sauce a great flavor. And of course, the tahini sauce is going to give the chicken a great flavor. The chicken is going to be very, very tender, which is going to be really good. And there's going to be enough sauce here that if somebody wants to serve this over rice, they can have a little sauce over their rice. So this is always good. Okay, we got this. Now I need to get a spoon and test this to make sure that we have enough of everything. Okay. Oh, that's good. Okay, guys, I don't need any salt, but I'm thinking I need just a touch more of pepper. Just a little bit. I'm gonna put a little extra pepper in there. Ah, that is really, it's a refreshing flavor. That's gonna be good. That's really gonna be good. All right. So let's check on our chili over here, make sure it's not sticking. Oh, can you see how thick? Whoops, no, you can't. You can't see how thick this chili is. There we go. See if I can stir that up for you. See how good that looks? Oh, man. This chili is going to be so good. And remember, I said I'm not serving it today. It's going to be tomorrow for the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. So by the time it goes through tonight in the refrigerator and those spices have a chance to really go through it, yum, 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 yum. That's going to be so good. Now, this is simmering. We want this chicken to continue to simmer until it is done. And we can't rush the chicken because no one wants chicken that is not well cooked. I hear you, Deb. Yep, it is going to be good. So we are just enjoying the morning and having fun. Now, I'm going to post everything on the community page so you can see how it comes out. And you notice I'm telling you the good, the bad, and ugly, because as much as we love being in the kitchen, we all have moments in the kitchen when things just don't work out, and you need to know that. And if there's a recipe out there, we try something and it doesn't work, you need to know. All right, Patricia. Patricia said she's going to have chili tomorrow also. I love serving chili on Super Bowl Sunday. We usually do chili. My daughter likes, she fixes buffalo chicken, and it's like a dip. And you cook a couple of whole chickens, you tear them apart after they're done, and you add the buffalo sauce to it, and then you can just literally, you can either put them on a bun, you can eat it with a fork, or you can use crackers or dips with it. So buffalo chicken is another, and it's so easy because she literally puts that chicken in the day before, pulls it, and adds the sauce to it, throws it in the refrigerator, and just warms it up the day of the game. So that's a quick and easy dish to have for a football game. So this is thickening up. Oh, I like that. I like, I haven't, I usually just use the tahini sauce in hummus. I don't usually use it for an actual meal. So I'm gonna give these another flip because I want all of this to have that lemony flavor. And this is another dish that you can certainly do in advance. Have the chicken ready, put all the sauce in the chicken back in a pan, throw it in the oven, throw your vegetables in, and you're ready to go. Now, while I'm serving this with green beans, you could put some diced potatoes in and have green beans and potatoes. You can do it with your asparagus. I don't know if Brussels sprouts will hold up, but I'm thinking you might be able to serve that on the side. But broccoli is too much cooking. That wouldn't work. Steamed broccoli just be a little too much. But this is good for green beans. So I have some green beans. I'm going to go ahead and put them in. And I'm just going to baste this chicken. Now, I had even considered cooking all of this in the oven and just doing it in the oven. And you can certainly do that. Put it in the oven, have your sauce ready, throw it in the oven, just put the skin side up. And like, for instance, if you're doing virtual church or even if you're going to church, you could put your chicken in your skillet, have it in the oven on a low setting, and when you come home, all of this would be ready. So I am just basting our chicken. And then what we'll do, now I'm going to go ahead and do this part, even though I already know it's probably just a little bit early, but I want you to see I want you to know what to do. Now I have a bag, a small bag here of freshly washed green beans. They're trimmed, they're washed, and I'm going to sprinkle these around. This is a very pretty dish in the pan. So I'm sprinkling and letting, green beans and lemon are always a good mix. And I can't leave out the garlic. You gotta have the garlic in there. Green beans, garlic, lemon, dill. If you had dill, you could throw some dill in. So we're going to put all of this in. There we go. We got everybody in the pot. Now I'm going to turn this down on a low simmer. I'm going to put the top on it and let this simmer about another 30 minutes. And at the end of those 30 minutes, it's going to be finished. The green beans will be done and they'll be tender, but not overcooked. Who wants mushy green beans? Okay? Oh, yes, it would be good over rice. Absolutely. Okay, let me get my top. For those of you who are a little later coming in, the grandkids were here, and I was not quite as organized as I usually try to be. And I say try to be, but we have just about everything we had planned. We've pretty well gotten going. All right, so the skillet's The chicken is in. I'm gonna give it a little wipe here so that you don't have to look at the mess. Wipe my hands off. And we'll be ready to sit and chat for just a moment, because I know Saturdays are busy days. I know you have a lot to do on Saturday. There we go. I don't want you to say, "Woo, that kitchen was a hot mess." Well, I hate to tell you, it is kind of. We have a lot of stuff that we used today. A lot of things we pulled out today. Okay, so we're just putting the tops back on and letting that simmer for just a minute. Now, so let's chit chat. All over biscuits. Hadn't thought about that. You know what? And I've got some extra biscuits left over from breakfast. You know, that might be an option. Then I wouldn't have to fix the cornbread. You might go for that. Wonder if you will. We'll have to try that. I'll let you know if that works and if I can get him to just do it. I think that would be good over biscuits, now that you say so. Cindy says she'll eat it over any of those. I hear you, Cindy. Okay, I'm moving you with me. We're going to get into a spot where I can be more a part of the conversation and keep things bright enough so that we can be seen. Now, I'm adjusting just a little bit. Oh, that's fun. You know, guys, it's always fun having you right here in this kitchen. And I'm exhausted. I have been going since about 7. Actually, it was more like 6:30 this morning. And because I knew I needed to get up, get the kiddos ready, and make sure that they had eaten early enough because of the babies needing to have sustenance for their swim meet. And I tell you what, I've been turning. I did biscuits, bacon, we had sausage, the link sausage, we had scrambled eggs with cheese, and so breakfast was delicious. But guess what? Here's mine. I haven't even finished mine, but I'll finish it. I just kind of took a bite every now and then so I wouldn't melt right here and talking to you. I wanted to make sure we were on time and ready to go. And because I like to keep those promises. And certainly, you know, Saturday mornings are an awful lot of fun. I would like to say that we get to see the grandkids all the time, but that's not the case. You know, I maybe get to see them maybe about twice a month. And I know some of you are probably thinking, I can't believe you're whining. But yes, I'm whining this morning. And because I know there are a couple of you who are sometimes on, and you may not get to see your grandchildren, but maybe once every month, you know, or a couple of months, depending upon where they're located. And are they in state, out of state? Are they in the city where you are or not? And oh, Kim, you are so sweet. Oh, so sweet. Because I was thinking, okay, I don't know if this is going to work or not. You know, I had gotten used to working right here, and I thought that had a better view. But, you know, it's the kitchen. And sometimes we just have to pull that kitchen together and do what we got to do. So I am so glad that you were able to see everything. I didn't let you see my roses. I got my Valentine roses there. And they are ready to go. I'm looking at this. What is this? Oh, I had my granddaughter helping me clean. So I don't know about your grandchildren or your children. Do they put things up when they're supposed to? No. And she left it out. She cleaned up very nicely, but there it sat. So I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you, Patricia. This is fun. This is so much fun. And, for all of us, I always say we are working to build a stronger family. And I say that very seriously. I mean that because I feel hoarse. To build a strong family because our kitchen tables are the most valuable part of our homes. The front door is great, but that kitchen table, that's really where the conversation is. That's really where the fun is. And the kitchen is the hub and the center. And this is where everybody shows up. I have had, what I would consider to be, hey, Dee, good morning. I have had some, I call fancy exclusive people to come in, and they end up right here in the kitchen. Hey, Sue. Let me put my glasses back on. What did this say? Oh, Sue, you're so sweet. Now, I didn't get to preview anything today because I told you they left literally 5 minutes before I had to hit that live button. And I felt like, I didn't get to touch the hair. I didn't get to go back and touch up the lipstick. And none of that got done today. So hopefully next week, it will be a little smoother. But certainly, I am loving every moment right here with you and enjoying what we do. And I know we've been on already an hour and 24 minutes. And for me, it's the best 24 minutes that we can have. And I just hope that you have an absolutely blessed weekend because, weekends are valuable. Now, of course, we have a few who have to work on the weekend. But still, your weekends are valuable. Whatever day your weekend is, sometimes it's a Monday and a Tuesday, sometimes a Tuesday and a Wednesday, that's your weekend. But whatever your weekend is, take some time for yourselves, enjoy every moment, and when you have a chance, gather the family around your table and get those giggles going, get those fun conversations going. And it doesn't matter what the meal is, really. It's just about everybody being together. I love all of you, and I certainly appreciate you being right here in the kitchen. Dee, I saw you and Mom, and you look so cute. Mom looks wonderful, and I just encourage Dee every day, and I think of you every day. And we have a couple other people who need that encouragement. We all need encouragement. And I'm hoping that each of you are growing stronger every day. And that maybe I had just a little teeny bit to do with that. It does fly by. It does fly by, Sue. Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend. And I'm going to I'm going to take you over here so you can see the real thing because the kitchen really is a hot mess. And I'm taking you in a direction where I'm going to see if you can see. Normally I'm always talking about washing the dishes as you go. Well, we didn't get to do that today. We didn't get to wash those dishes as you go. So this is a leftover early breakfast from when the kids are in, as well as our cooking. So I got a little bit of cleanup to do today, but that's okay because we had a ball. Rebecca, you're never too late. And I'm just glad you're here. So God bless each of you. And I hope to see you out on Monday at lunchtime. So have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you soon. Hi, Emma.